Welcome to the Citizen channel. Today we've got the odd show, a big game. It's always a big game no matter what, isn't it? Of course, Man United, those lot across the road against, of course, our wonderful club Manchester City. 6th November 2021. 12:30 p.m. kickoff. Yeah, strange. Yeah, they're not always the most weird. It's a weird time, isn't it? Atmosphere-wise and game-wise, they don't always work out these early kickoffs. But we'll see. Let's hope it goes the blue way. And at least that's all we can ask. Of course, there's going to be a City lead in these odds. I was tempted to do something ready-fied in one of the charity bets today, but yeah, I sort of put that to one side. But I'll tell you about that in a bit. Please, I don't condone gambling anyway. Only bet what you can afford when the fun stops stopping. There is help out there if you are struggling. Please, there are organisations you can get in touch with me, and I'll point in the right direction. Say this is just for a little bit of fun, and my only bets at the moment are just for charity. I don't put any personal bets on, just for a little bit of interest and try and get some money in the pot. We're having a bad run at the moment, guys. Yeah, I had a great little run, 4 or 5 on the trot where I won, and now I've probably gone 3 or 4. Losses, as I say, I cover all the losses, so it's me that's struggling. Obviously, the charity doesn't lose out, but yeah, I'll have to do better. I'm sorry about that. But I've split the bet today. I've been going as a one-off, but I've split the bet over 2 bets today. So fingers crossed. If you can get your fingers crossed that this works out for you. Of course, we've got to get some good value. It's United and City, isn't it? There's got to be some good value in this, isn't there? Obviously, because of the game. All these prices are at the 3rd of November 2021. And when I show you my team, that's obviously before the Brugge game. So obviously there are any injuries or something. You'll have to take that into account, guys. I say I have to pre-record this a little bit. And obviously it is before the Brugge game. So I'm not quite sure. I'm hoping, obviously, the players who play against Brugge and play against United will come out the Brugge game okay. So as of the 3rd of November. All right, let's have a chat about this. Match odds, yeah. Obviously, I'm going to do my starting 11 for you first. So I'll do the match odds, then I'll do the starting 11. Obviously, the match odds themselves, you got City at 4-6 on, which is normal really for this sort of game. A draw is 3-1 with Sky and 365, and a win for United 365, 7-2 on Bet 365. So that's not too bad to win the league. Yeah, just getting away from the actual match itself. City are still the favourites despite 5 points behind Chelsea. We're still comfortable favourites at 11-8, and United on Bet Victor have drifted out to 40-1, 40-1. So you still fancy United fans? Still fancy that? There you go. And a top 4 finish, yeah. I mean, there's no guarantees of that for United, is there, at the moment? But, well, the bookies don't think so anyway. But you can get 4-6 on a United top 4 finish. So, I mean, if I was a United fan, I might be risking a 50p on that or something like that, to be honest with you. Yeah, so here's the team. Now, let's get on to the team before we look at these sort of game stats, if you like. Game stats, game prices, not stats. That's another thing altogether, isn't it? Or I suppose they are stats in a way, aren't they? So this is my team that I will go with against United. There's probably one iffy one, but we'll talk. Ederson, we've got Ederson. Let's give you the team. Walker, Diaz, Stones and Cancelo. I think that's sort of written in stone, don't you think, guys? And in the middle is a bit of a funny one. I put Rodri instead of some people going for Ferner because of his character, and it's a derby game, but I think Pep will stick with Rodri. But I put Gundogan and Bernardo back in there as well. So I put Gundogan to start, which isn't 100%, obviously. We're not quite sure. If he plays against Brugge, we might have a better idea. But up front, I've put Grealish, Foden and KDB. Yeah, so we can, obviously, KDB a little bit more forward because it doesn't seem to be working, obviously in a sort of slightly deeper role. So if we put him more a sort of false 9 role or switch and change, of course, with Foden or something like that, it might work against United. So that's my starting 11 anyway. Let me know what you think on that. Obviously, my preview show, I'll do another starting 11. It should be that one, but obviously I'll know about Brugge by then, so I may be altering it slightly. So check back with that. First goal scorer, yeah, I've listed a few here now. We've got Jesus there. I don't think he'll be playing. He's favourite, actually, to score first, but I doubt he'll be playing. I wouldn't mind him playing. Don't get me wrong. He's one of the guys that I wouldn't mind in the team, but I'm not too sure he will. He's 5-1 for first goal scorer. Ronaldo, as you'd expect, is 11-2. Mahrez is 13-2 with Bet365. If I don't quote a bookies, it just means it's generally available as when I'm recording this. Foden is 13-2, KDB 15-2. That's not bad. Paddy Power, Betfair Sports. We keep expecting KDB to hit form, don't we? So if he is playing, that's not a bad price. Grealish is 8-1. Cavani's 8-1 with 365. Both of those. Gundogan 17-2. Another good one. Silva 9-1. Bernardo, he don't mind the odd goal against United, does he? And if you fancy United's Fernandes or Rashford, then 9-1 and 10-1 respectively. Fancy an outside chance? John Stones, yeah, he can sometimes pop up with a goal against United, can't he? 40-1 with Bet365, John Stones. More interest to me is always the anytime goal scorer. And yes, this is where I was tempted, guys, but I didn't do it. I stood by our wonderful team. I didn't do it. I was tempted by Ronaldo at 7-4 as anytime goal scorer. And I thought, well, yeah, if it's a consolation goal, I can live with that. But hey, it's just on the cards, isn't it, that Ronaldo's going to score? And 7-4 is not a bad price. But I'm not going to do it. But I probably would have done. But obviously it's a derby, so I'm not going to do it. But that's Paddy Power and Betfair Sports. You can still get 7-4. So if you United fans, any United fans listening to this, have a go on that, mate. I wouldn't put you off at all. KDB, anytime goal scorer, 2-1 with Bet Victor. That's a good one, isn't it? But I've just plumped for the Stockport Iniesta Foden. This is my charity bet. I'll tell you what odds I got at that in what price I got in a minute for that. But it's 21-10 with Paddy Power and Betfair Sports. Of course, I bet through the exchanges. I don't bet through the bookies themselves. So it's Foden 21-10. That did tempt me, and it has tempted me to do the charity bet on that one. I think that's good. Grealish is 23-10 with Sky and Bet Victor. Cavani's 12-5 with 365. Gundogan's 11-4 with Betfair Sports. That's not bad. This is any time goal scorer, don't forget. Bernardo 3-1 with Betfair Sports. Martial 15-4 with Bet365, and Rashford 7-2. I mean, he's been scoring, hasn't he? Paddy Power and Betfair Sports. So some good prices there, and of course the outside chance earlier I mentioned, John Stones. If you fancy him as an anytime goal scorer, he's 14-1 with Bet365. So yes, I've gone on Foden. With the Smarkets market at 2.05. So obviously there's a bit of commission on that. So, but hopefully that'll be, fingers crossed, guys, for that one. That's the first of the two charity bets this week. Right, both teams to score. Yeah, I think there's potential for this, or it could be a 0-0 drab draw like it was last season. Don't forget, it was a 0-0 last season. Very, very disappointing game. But yeah, the bookies think it'll be both teams to score. They've gone 4-6 on yes, with that 365 and Hills, and no is 11-8 with Bet Victor. So if you fancy a clean sheet for one of the teams, I wouldn't put you off 11-8 with Bet Victor. Correct scores: the City wins. This is what I've looked at. I've not gone for any 5-0s or 6-1s or anything like that. I've just looked at the more obvious scores. 1-0 is 17-2 with 365 and Bet Victor. 2-0 is 19-2 with Bet Victor. A 2-1 City win is 8-1 with 365 and Bet Victor. A 3-1 City win, which is a bog standard scoreline, isn't it? 14-1 with 365. And a 3-0 City win is 16-1 with Bet Victor. If you do fancy it to be a draw like it was last season, and a 0-0 bore as it was last season, 14-1. So there you go, and get that generally 0-0. A 1-1 draw is 8-1 with Bet Victor, and a 2-2 draw is 14-1 generally available. And a United win, if you United guys out there, I wouldn't even bet on this in a blink of an eye. I wouldn't even look at this, but a 1-0 win for United, 17-1, Bet Victor. 2-0, 33-1, Bet Victor. 2-1, 15-2 Bet Victor, and a 3-1 United win, 40-1, 40-1 with William Hill. So there you go, United fans. Put your quids on and lose them, that'll be fine. Half-time, full-time. City, yeah, 365 is 7-4. That's tempting. A draw in City is 4-1 with Sky. Again, very, very tempting. A draw and a draw, if it's going to be similar to last season, that's 6-1 generally. United, score on the brink of half-time and then hold on for the rest of the game. That's typical United, isn't it? 7-1 with Bet365, and a draw at half-time, and United win is 10-1 generally. So, yeah, so there you go. United fans, I'm doing a bit more for United fans this week, because I know they're all watching, trying to get the jump on us City fans. I know what they're like. Goals over under, yeah, this is an interesting one. This is where my second charity bet comes in today. As I said, they can be stale games. Well, that's not normal. I mean, the season before, I think it was 2-0 for City, wasn't it? We've not been totally battering them on the scoreline, but obviously we've been sort of more or less well on top in the actual play. Although that 2-0 win, if I remember rightly, I think United had more shots, but that was fairly late on when they were chasing the game, I think, when we were already 2-0 up and looked quite comfortable. But it is very rare that these are stale games. And as I said, it's a 12:30 kickoff, which doesn't help. That could add to the fact it might be a little bit quiet and stale. But obviously, I'm sure once we get this Brugge game out of the way, Pep will be treating this with the respect it deserves. And why not? I think United will obviously try and pick us off as Crystal Palace did quite successfully very recently, of course. But I think both teams certainly City will go for a win because Pep doesn't know how to go for a draw anyway. And I think that will open it up for United to have a go back as well. So I think personally there will be more than 2.5 goals, and the over 2.5 at the moment is 4-6 on with 365. I think that's a cracking price. I mean, if you fancied 4 goals and more in the game, you can get 13-8 with 365. But under 3.5, so you think it'll be like a 2-1 or a 2-0, something like that. You can still get 1-2 on. So obviously, 365 as Sky are not thinking it's going to be a massive goal fest, this one. But this is where my second charity bet, I'll go back to the first one I mentioned there, over 2.5 goals. I'm going to take a chance because we've not been scoring for fun lately, have we? But we know United can score goals, and if they can score, surely we can. So over 2.5 goals on Smarkets again. I've gone at 0.65. So fingers crossed for that, guys, if you can, to win for charity. Winning margin, I mean, I can't see I can't see a 5-0. I'd love to emulate what Liverpool did to him, but I can't see that personally. I think it'd be a 1 or 2 goal margin for us. So for a City one goal margin, it's 11-4 with 365. For a 2 goal margin, it's 4-1. If you're optimistic and fancy a 3 goal margin, it's 15-2 with Paddy Power, and 4 or more, a nice 6-1 again, or 5-0. It's 12-1 with Paddy Power and Betfair Sports. But again, because I'm being friendly to United, looking at their options of United winning by 1 goal is 6-1 with Paddy Power and Betfair Sports. United winning by 2 goals is 16-1 with Sky, and United winning by 3 goals, God forbid. I've just done the History Boys feature. Check that out, guys. Obviously, it was 3 goals or more even, so I didn't even look at that on this one. But you're talking 20, 25, 28-1 or something for 4 goals or more, aren't you? But 3 goals or more, 3 goals. United win by 3 goals is 15-2 Paddy Power. But check out my History Boys feature as well. We didn't know that was going to turn out like that when we went to that game all that time ago. Corners, interesting enough. There wasn't many last year, but it was, as I said, if it is a dull affair, if it is because of the time it's played, etc., we've got fans in the ground. Don't forget this time. Last year there was no fans in the ground either, so that didn't help, did it? Let's be honest about it. But corners is an interesting one this week, and I do like the under 10.5 market. So 10 corners or less, that's 8-11 on with Bet365. That took me interest. I couldn't get that on the exchanges to have a go on that one, but that does interest me. And the over 10.5 is even. So, but I can't see it. I think the corners will be quite low. And the first corner, for instance, City to get the first corner with 3-6 on Bet365 is 4-7 on. United is 5-4 against to get the first corner. I wouldn't put it past United getting that, to be honest with you. That's an interesting one again from a United point of view. And they have to look at the penalties, to score a penalty, we know United are going to get gifted one at some stage, don't we? Hopefully it's a consolation. As I said, we're like Ronaldo scoring, but you can get 6-1 with Bet365 on United scoring a penalty. That's got to be worth 10 bob, hasn't it? That's got to be worth 50p. For City to score a pen, well, that's 10-3. I'll probably write that off straight away, to be honest with you. But that's with 365 as well, so that's quite interesting. We're nearly at the end now. Just a couple more to look at. To score first, hopefully it'll be City, and the bookies seem to think so. You can get 8-15 on for City to score first with Sky and Bet Victor. And United, you can get as high as 7-4 against to score first. Again, it's not a bad. There's some good prices for United fans. I mean, obviously, if you're a United fan, you have a bit of fun, a bit of interest. There's some options here if you're positive about your team. And total cards, the last thing we'll look at. It wasn't a very feisty affair last year. As I said, the crowd might make a difference. It might get the players more up for it. But we know the refs. I think Oliver's a referee. I've not had that confirmed, but I think Michael Oliver's a referee for this one. But they aren't showing as many cards as they did. So under 4.5 cards, so just 4 cards shown in the game, as long as someone will get sent off, 4-6 on with Bet365. I think that's pretty good. I think that's a good bet. That's worth a look at as well. The card market. So have a look at that. But there you go. All my stuff. Hope you enjoyed that. Let me know what you're doing. If you're having a little flutter and a little interest, let me know what it is. Or even after the event, if you come back after the game, say, oh Bernard, I did this and I'd won that. And you can all just keep your fingers crossed for my charity bets, which are, of course, just to remind you, anytime goal scorer I've gone for at 2.05 on Phil Foden. Anytime goal scorer. So let's hope Phil he does the magic, and of course over 2.5 goals. So it's a nice 3-0 win for City, or a nice 4-1, or a nice 6-1 perhaps. Whatever. I've gone at that at 0.65 for over 2.5 goals in the game. So fingers crossed, eh? Let's hope for a good game and the best team wins. And no doubt we're going to be the best team, but we don't always win, do we? Even if we are the best team, that's just how football is. That's par for the course. Anyway, thanks for joining me today, guys. What we're going to do the rest of the day, have a great one. Look after yourselves, look after your friends, look after your families. More importantly, let's all look after each other. Even those rags across the road, we'll look after them as best we can, can't we? But not too much, but a little bit. Anyway, please also check out, if you can, my film and TV channel. I try and inform and entertain on there with film and TV reviews and information vlogs, etc. But if it's there or it's back on here, I only ask one thing, don't I? Please stay safe, everyone. Thanks for watching. Come on, City. See you later. Bye-bye.